Hi friends and fellow intuitive academics, my name is Shelley and I draw from my intuition and my lived experience as a PhD to offer you guidance on your academic journey. And today I wanted to do a reading especially for those students working on long-term projects. So these could be like capstone projects in your whatever program you're in, undergraduate, master's. It could also be like thesis or dissertations that you're working on. It can translate, the messages can translate across different types of projects that you're working on because really the common denominator is sustaining that inspiration, love, hope, and belief in your own work as you're going through the long and arduous process of doing a project, often for the first time. If you're a student, even if you're at the PhD level, it might not be your first project, but it's the first at that higher stake. And so I think across all long-term projects, dissertation, theses, there's also that added expectation and pressure that you're putting your own individual stamp on the work as your own kind of individual way of thinking, processing knowledge, and communicating. So there's a lot going on all in that. It's no easy task. And I believe that everyone, I want to say everyone, I don't want to commit to that, but most people hit a point where they just kind of fall out of love with their own research, something that they might have started with a lot of love in the first place. And I feel like that's perfectly natural. It's very long and arduous journey that's hard to sustain endurance for, let alone like love for the journey itself. So everyone hits that point, but everyone also kind of finds ways to rekindle the love, I believe. And so the reading today, I want to help everyone find their own way back to rekindling that love for their long-term projects. So we're going to take 3 cards, and then this will be a pick a card reading, and then and then you can skip ahead to the card that is calling you. Okay, so for our first group, we have this kind of like sea glass color chip. Oh, how perfect. It's the sea, the Page of Cups. Let yourself be continually surprised by this thing called life. And next we have Good Luck Charm. If nothing seems to be going your way, cast a spell. Interesting advice. And this is with a lavender chip. And then we last have the 6 of Wands. You're kind of a big deal, so start acting like it. With this kind of, what would you call this? Almost the same color as my desk. Like it's like a very light blue color chip. So, I mean, it already looks like magnificent advice coming through. So go ahead and meditate on these cards, inscriptions, and stones for a little bit, and then jump ahead to your chapter and I'll see you there. Hi, Page of Cups group. So you were drawn to this card, the Page of Cups, with a youngish figure standing on the shoreline with a mug that has like a little pink blossom coming out of it. So the Page of Cups is typically interpreted as like a pleasant surprise, something that comes out of nowhere that kind of sparks love and joy. So this is perfect for rekindling the love for your project. Something unexpected might come in and just help you see the world in a different way, or help you see your project in a different way. Most importantly, help you see your project through your heart in a different way. Yeah, and it says, let yourself be continually surprised by this thing called life. So let's get a few more cards and see more specifically what's the advice coming in for you. Okay, so we're getting the Four of Cups in reversed. I'll take reversed in this reading. And then the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And the Six of Swords. And if you're writing a thesis or dissertation, I just need to read you this inscription because it says, "All aboard witch, it's time to write a new chapter." So I have to start there, and that's clearly advice for you to get started on the next chapter. Yeah, I'm going to focus in a bit on people who are doing like a long-term project that includes writing with chapters. It's like you're kind of stuck on a chapter and you're trying to like power through it. Like you might be trying to write chapters in sequence, like 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're really excited to write chapter 4, but you're just so stuck on chapter 3, but you're not letting yourself move on to chapter 4 until you finish chapter 3. The advice here for me, it's coming in like a waterfall, so I'm just gonna have to like blurt it out, is that you need to leave that chapter on the shelf for now and just let go of that plan you had in mind to work sequentially, and just move on to chapter 4. Follow your heart, follow your curiosity, and where your mind is naturally gravitating. There's a reason it's pulling you to, the next chapter, chapter 4. It's okay, skip ahead, write that while you have all the words flowing out of you. Just get it all down on paper, and then something in that process will help you go back to chapter 3, for example, the one that you're kind of stuck on. So the way you can rekindle joy in your long-term project is by putting aside whatever you're working on now. This applies now to all long-term projects. Put aside the thing you're working on now that's just kind of draining you. That's what I'm feeling with the Ace of Pentacles. You see, it's like this hand is like putting the Ace of Pentacles back. It's like, no, actually, I'm not going to start that right now. I'm going to put that back on the shelf and go start this other thing. That's how you can stay in this space of love for your project and joy, is by staying with the thing that you're inspired by and not conforming yourself to like these arbitrary rules of, I need to write this certain way. Your brain and your heart are telling you actually to write in a different way, to follow where your heart is pulling you in terms of those ideas that you want to speak to right now. The Four of Cups is like paired up with the Ace of Pentacles. It's I'm sorry, actually, no, I'm feeling that different. It speaks to, it just like speaks to what I said with both these cards, that the Four of Cups is usually a figure of someone like not accepting the fourth cup and looking kind of like they don't really want to do anything at all. They're not totally happy, they're not totally like disappointed, but they're just kind of like in the middle. This is you, you're in that energy of like you don't want to start that fourth chapter. I wonder if that's like, why am I so stuck on the fourth chapter? I wonder if it's this, but it's like you're still staring at chapter number 3 and you will refuse to let go of it. But chapter 4 is like calling your name, and it's like, come on, we need to like, I have something to tell you. This is like the fourth cup, the Page of Cups coming in, and you're just like, no, I have to finish chapter 3 before I can get to you. But it's just like the world's not working like that, and there's a bit of a message of just go with the flow in this case. Discipline is great in other areas. For example, you have a set writing time every day. That maybe that's working for you, maybe not, but you have to kind of pick and choose where you have your discipline, because some things like inspiration and joy for your project can't really conform to discipline, and you kind of just have to learn to ride the wave of that, but in a way that kind of you can still kind of be grounded in discipline in other forms. Yeah, okay, so that first whole line is covered. What's a follow-up question for this? So obviously your message for rekindling love is to let go of the plan a little bit, let go of the process in your head, and follow where your curiosity is pulling you, or your inspiration is pulling you. And I don't think that you have to look far. I think it's been calling your name for a while and you've been ignoring it because you're just so determined to put a seal on chapter 3. Or if you're in a long-term project, you're just so determined to finish this one stage and you won't allow yourself to move ahead. You're being called to let go of that a bit. And it can work another way. Excuse me. It could also work going backwards. Like, say you're stuck on chapter 3. You might go back and work on something in the introduction or chapter 1. There might be something there that helps you figure out, oh, this is the thing that I really wanted to say in chapter 3. So you're just being called to work on something else within your project, and it will help kind of illuminate the path ahead for the part that you're stuck on. Let's see. Are there any specific advice that can come through about practical ways for the Page of Cups group to do this? The 8 of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, cool, and the 5 of Swords. By the way, if you were drawn to the second pile, they had the Wheel of Fortune card, even though it's called something different. It's called the Good Luck charm in this deck. So if you felt drawn to that, you might check it out. You might have a message there. Your luck will change pretty fast. I don't know the specifics of what that means, but if you were kind of like waiting for something to come through within your project, it hit kind of like we were talking about, that you hit a stuck place. Your luck is going to take care of this really soon. The 5 of Swords. You're gonna win something here. Yeah. You're gonna win something really soon, and that's going to help you complete this project. That's for some people, like half the people here. The other half, when you complete the project, you're going to gain recognition very quickly for your work, and then you will win something because of this project. Win a competition. So I don't know if there's some kind of like when I was a student, we had these like 3-minute dissertation competitions where you have to like translate your dissertation to a crowd, an audience in 3 minutes, and then they vote on like who did the best job, and you can win like $1,000. It could be something like that. And then I think having that recognition from others will give you a lot of, allow you to like recognize the value of your work and be able to put that love, to rekindle that love for it again. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it there, and I'm wishing you so much luck on this journey, but you have a lot of luck on your side. You have the ability to rekindle your inspiration on your own. And that's just by letting go of the process and going with the flow a bit, following your heart. And I'm sending you so much love on that journey, hoping you continue to work with love for your project as well. And please like, subscribe, and comment. And I thank you in advance for any of that. And thank you also for watching. And I really hope that this helps you through that little bump. Hi, good luck charm group. So you're drawn to this image of a person wearing an acorn necklace, kind of looking off into the distance, like maybe having like a clairvoyant moment or something like that. And it says, if nothing seems to be going your way, cast a spell. And so in the traditional decks, this is the the Wheel of Fortune card. And usually that speaks to like luck being on your side or not, and it speaks to an external force. But in this deck, it's interpreted more as like, well, if the external force isn't in your favor, then claim some agency over it by casting a spell. We don't have to take that literally, but it's just I think it's intriguing to think of the suggestion that you could change your own luck, pretty much is the message there. Yeah. So, I'm not seeing yet what your main issue is in your loss of love for your project, but let's see if we can get some more information about how can our good luck charm group rekindle love for their project. Their long-term project or dissertation or thesis. So we get judgment in reverse. It says all signs say that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, but it's in reverse. Interesting. I feel here that this is true. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. You're doing the thing that is like your calling. There's so many things that led you to this moment. But because it's in reverse, you're doubting it. You have a bit of imposter syndrome going on, I have to say. Seven of Wands reversed. Okay, I think I'm having an idea. I'm gonna pull another. Queen of Pentacles. It says there's no need to sacrifice. You can have it all. And I always take this card in this deck to be like the doctor, because it says the witch is in. It makes me think of the doctor is in. So like this is like the high education card for me in this deck specifically. So you have that. You have success in the end. If you're going for a doctorate, it's in your future. It's there. You're about to open that door and walk through. This, yeah, that confirms for me what this is. This is like, this is what you see in your mind. Like you're in the middle and everyone's like accusing you of being a fraud. That's like how intense that feeling of imposter syndrome is for you. And that's really the thing that's dampening your love for the project. Yeah. Do you see how, remember how I said like this figure's having a clairvoyant moment? It could also be a bit that you're getting lost in your thoughts, your negative thoughts as well. Like it's kind of like freezing you, like you're stunned and you're just like overwhelmed with the idea that you're an imposter. I'm here to tell you that you're absolutely not. And these are just thoughts, legitimate thoughts. I would say that most students go through this, myself included. So it is a part of the process. It's nothing to do with you individually. The message here, though, is that this is something that you can manage, something that you can change. And and also for me to tell you that you're not an imposter, you're not a fraud, you're there for a reason, and you're going all the way to the end. You're gonna have it all. Um, yeah, and then with this no need to sacrifice, I'm also seeing that as you are sacrificing something, but you're also like overworking yourself, which is a way of like a form of sacrifice, self-sacrifice. You're working harder than you need to because you're trying to prove yourself, because you have this imposter syndrome weighing you down. Just remember, you are exactly where you need to be. So let's turn this one around. You are exactly where you need to be. You are the Queen of Pentacles energy, mastering your subject and getting your degree, and luck is on your side. It's just that you have to step into your power a bit and use the magic of the luck on your journey. Yeah, so that's the thing that's the thing that's making you lose your love for the project, because you feel like you don't deserve it. The thing then that will help you rekindle love for your project is to rekindle love and belief in yourself and your reasons for doing this project in the first place. That's really what your message is. I want to see if there's another line of information that will come through for you, particularly if there's like practical ways that our good luck charm pile can practice their belief in themselves and navigating this imposter syndrome that's affecting their project progress. Oh, my hands are too small for these decks sometimes. Ace of Cups in reverse. So when Ace of Cups comes in reverse, it's clearly a sign of self-love for me. So practicing self-love. And you see how this figure is like putting her hand on her heart? It's like you can just once in a while put your hand on your heart and tell yourself that you love yourself. I do this. It's corny, but I do it and it works. And it's just like there's some part of your cells, your body that needs to hear that every day, every once in a while, as like a practice. So yeah, so I guess it's reminding me of that practice I have. So the advice would be not to just like wait until you burned out and you're just so distraught to take care of yourself. Make it an everyday practice that will kind of like maintain this this stable level of self-love in yourself and therefore in your project as well. Wow, King of Swords, you are going to master this project. It is going to be a work of art. Let me tell you, this is like the king of honesty, logic, rationality, thinking, communication. This is going to like ace whatever exams you have in front of you and more. The Hanged Man, you are going to change your perspective through this process. Okay, there's two pieces of advice. You are being called to change your perspective now on yourself, of course, with the self-love, and on your project. You're being called to master that mental state so that you're not trapping the brilliance that you have inside you. But also, you are going to master this through the project you're working on, through the whole journey of that, and it's going to change you into the Doctor, the Queen of Pentacles. So you're going to encompass both the King of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles energy by the end of your project. This is a great growth experience for you. Everything is going the way it should be. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. And I just noticed it says all signs say that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So you have signs coming to you. I see purple flowers coming up twice. So if that's significant to you, look for purple flowers. An acorn, blue butterfly, yeah, the cardinal. These are all standing out as potential signs that you may be receiving. But you can see for yourself if there's anything coming through. There are also a couple birds in here. I see a parakeet. So you're being sent signs of good to tell you that like good luck is on your side. You're being supported by your spirit team in this and your ancestors. There is a lot there are a lot of people and spirits pulling for you on this. You are on your path, and imposter syndrome, self-doubt is part of that path, but it's a part that you overcome and grow into your role as the doctor. Um, yeah. And yeah, I think that's your guidance there. So that's how you rekindle love for your project is by rekindling your self-love, taking care of your self-love in in a ritual or an everyday sort of practice. You're so deserving of it, and you're doing great work, and it's so appreciated in the world. So take care of yourself too. Don't forget to do that. There's no need to sacrifice. You're going to have it all. And so I'm going to send you off with love and hoping you continue to work with love on that. Thank you in advance for any likes or comments or subscriptions that you put forth, and I will see you in the next one. Hi, Six of Wands group. So you were drawn to this card where it's like you on stage all dressed in red, and it says you're kind of a big deal, so start acting like it. So there's a lot of promise in this card already in terms of rekindling love for your projects. It's like your project's going to be a smashing success. I mean, I can say that already. I see it happening here. Okay, so we're gonna get some more guidance on how the Six of Wands group can rekindle love for their project. By the way, the Six of Wands is the victory card, so it's like you celebrating a victory. You're at the end line, and everyone's celebrating around you. It's just all good news with the Six of Wands. Nine of Swords. It says we all get a bit carried away with our worries sometimes. So you are having sleepless nights, anxious thoughts over your project. The Hierophant in reverse. The Hierophant definitely represents institutions, like formal knowledge and learning. It's in reverse. I want to get one more card before I say anything on that. And then the Knight of Cups, and it says romanticize the present moment every chance you get. I want to see what this book says. It says poetry. So I wonder if any of you are working on poetry, or maybe poetry would be great for you to kind of inspire you and rekindle love in your project. Hierophant in reverse. It says here, tradition is important, but it doesn't have to be everything. I'm not sure if that's the message, or if it's the image or the Hierophant we're gonna use here. Do you see how it's like this witch has her fingers on her chin, like she's thinking or choosing something? I wonder if you can see it better like this. It's like she's choosing in between these younger people, and it almost makes me think of like you having to be selected for a program, or like being selected like worthy to progress in a program, through your project, and this is the thing that's causing you a lot of anxieties. I'm trying to determine if it means that you should kind of like take criticism with a grain of salt. Like, this does happen where maybe someone on your committee, if it's, I'm talking with an example of like, I guess a project or a dissertation, it works, but someone on your committee is just kind of like critiquing you out of their own ego. Oh, I just had a whole flashback. Not a flashback, but a memory of a story I heard about a grad student who was just kind of like, this is every grad student's fear, right? That you're just kind of like chewed up in the defense, the oral defense. Is that your specific worry about like the presentation or an oral defense? And it just keeps you suffering night after night, imagining all the possibilities. I see now. Yeah, it's because the Hierophant's reverse, it's saying that's not going to happen. You're kind of just torturing yourself over what is like your greatest fear regarding this project, like the external judgment by the people who who have power to pass it or fail it. Yeah, that's not going to happen. And you're being called to attend to your worries over that, because that it's like you're becoming the critic ahead of them, and you're just tearing your own work apart. You're tearing yourself apart with those critical thoughts. Yeah, that's what it is. So that's the thing that's dampening your love for your long-term project. With the Knight of Cups, this is all about leading with love. So moving, the way to move away from this energy is to just be this brave lover, right? Just to like, who knows what the future will bring, but you're going to pursue this out of romance and love. You could think of it like, like a romance novel or a romantic partnership. You don't know if the person will accept you, or if, or what the future holds. All you know is that you have these feelings translated to your project. You have these ideas that you want to express. And all you can do is pursue that and see what happens. So that's the advice that's coming through to you, to romanticize the present moment. Interesting. I've just been listening to The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and this chapter was all about the now, the present moment, and how suffering happens outside of the present moment. It's when we're not present, basically, that suffering happens. There might be something in there for you. The Power of Now. It's a really famous book. So that might be a place for you to kind of to go look for some more information. But yeah, going back to your project and just pursuing it as if it was a potential romantic partner, like courting your project, like having hope for the future, but like, nothing certain in the future. I hope I'm translating that right. It's all about, it's the sense that like everything will be okay, because whatever you did it out of love. You did it for love, and what could be so bad about that in the end? Like, that's the energy that I'm seeing in the Knight of Cups. Yeah, it's so beautiful. It's feels very emotional in me right now. It's just like I'm smiling. I just can't stop smiling, and this is the energy that you're being called to embrace. Just like romance your own project. Sorry if that sounds strange, uh, but I hope it's meaningful to you in some way. So I wonder if there's any other information, particularly like practical guidance that we can offer the Six of Wands group. Because remember, I started off saying that this is a victory card. There's victory there. Um, and you're kind of, if you don't know that, of course, but it's like whenever, think back to another victory or success you had, and if there were, you also had similar worries, and it was just like all that time spent worrying over nothing because you were like, it was a raging success in the end. If you ever doubt yourself, just look to your past successes. Yeah. Eight of Swords paired with the Nine of Swords. The practical advice here is to find ways to let go of your self-doubts, self-limiting beliefs. I would also say you can identify where those come from. There's a lot of like self-help journaling out there, but if you have access to a therapist, that's a really like fruitful way to go too. The Three of Cups. So community is important here. Your cohort specifically, they have a lot of compliments for you. They have these cups to offer you. So I don't know. I'm just getting this weird idea. It's sort of an idea I'm having about my own like doing something with my own colleagues, like having like some sort of like collective celebration party where everybody shares their like something that they just accomplished that they're proud of. Because there's not really a venue for that in my work. Everyone just kind of does their work and then like they put it on their CV, and but like you kind of need that moment of celebration to feel like, oh, okay, like now it's like I can feel like it's real. You might do something like that with your cohort or with your friends who are also going through similar things. They might also be needing this kind of energy too. You just go out and or you host a party and everyone goes around and says something that they're proud of that they accomplished, and everyone like cheers and celebrates that accomplishment. Um, that might be a practical way to rekindle your love in your project. It looks really similar actually to what's going on here. Like, say each of the friends takes a turn trying on clothes, and then they get all the attention from the other friends, and it's like everyone kind of gets to experience that sense of being celebrated. Yeah, celebration. Um, like preemptively celebrating. Oh, not okay, not like that if it's gonna like cause you anxiety. It's like celebrating your previous successes to remind yourself what a success you already are. Oh my gosh. It's the Six of Wands again, like 100%. If you need any confirmation, you have the confirmation of success and victory here. And also like just being in the spotlight with this one, like, and being an inspiration to people, possibly like the cohorts that are coming in after you. Yeah, you really just don't have to doubt anything. You can let those doubts go. You can and make sure you get good rest. Like, the practical advice would be work on this because everything is going just fine in your project. Lean into your support communities, lean into whatever like mental wellness support you have available to you, support groups even, um, because it's there's no problem with your project. You're it's just more of like you're suffering and you're kind of you're not loving your project anymore because it's so painful, the mental suffering of it. So that is your advice. And I don't know, I just feel so elated in this. I don't know if it's meant to just spread to you. I've just felt so excited and like joyful and elated about your success this whole time. So, yeah, I hope that does transfer to you because I can feel it so strongly. And thank you also for sharing that energy with me. And I am sending you off with love. Hoping you continue to work with love in everything you do. Thank you in advance for any likes, shares, subscribes, or comments or questions. And I hope to see you in the next one.